James Carter hadn't worn his uniform in 7 years. His army service was something he carried in silence now, hidden under the grease-stained coveralls he wore to his civilian job at a small-town auto shop. To the people who came in for oil changes and brake fixes, he was just the quiet mechanic with kind eyes. To his 10-year-old daughter, Lily, he was Dad, the one who packed her school lunches, braided her hair in the mornings, and fell asleep in the recliner before finishing their movie nights. Life was steady, but never easy. Bills came faster than paychecks, and every time James thought about what he had given up, the brothers he left behind in the army, the career he abandoned after his wife's sudden passing, he reminded himself that being there for Lily was worth every sacrifice. But fate, as it always does, had other plans. One stormy evening, James was closing up the shop when his phone buzzed. The caller ID made his breath catch, General Harlan. A name from another lifetime. He hesitated, thumb hovering over the screen, before finally answering. "Carter," came the gravelly voice on the other end. "I wish this were a social call. We've got a downed Black Hawk on the airfield. Every technician we have can't get her back up. And we don't have time. A critical mission is grounded until that bird flies. I need you." James froze. He wanted to say no. His daughter was waiting at home. His life was no longer about missions or orders. But the general's words stirred something deep, something he thought he had buried. "Sir, I'm not," James started, but Harlan cut him off. "You're the only man I've ever seen breathe life into machines when everyone else gave up. We don't just need a mechanic tonight. We need you. I wouldn't be calling if it wasn't life or death." The silence stretched. Rain pounded the shop roof. James glanced at the framed photo of his wife and Lily on the counter, his anchor. Duty and fatherhood pulled at him from opposite sides. Finally, with a long, steadying breath, James said, "Send me the transport." "I'll do it." Within the hour, James was on the tarmac of the base he thought he'd never step foot on again. The helicopter loomed in front of him, silent and broken, a hulking shadow under the floodlights. Around it, frustrated technicians murmured about failed diagnostics and dead ends. The air reeked of stress and urgency. James rolled up his sleeves, grabbed his old toolkit, still sitting in a base locker all these years later, and touched the cold metal of the Black Hawk. Memories of war zones, late-night repairs in desert heat, and whispered prayers over machines that held lives in their blades all came flooding back. But this wasn't just about a helicopter. This was about proving to himself and to his daughter that he wasn't done yet. Hours dragged on as James worked. Every time he thought he found the problem, another surfaced. Electrical systems refused to sync. Fuel lines sputtered without reason. The technician stood by, doubtful, whispering about wasted time. But James shut it all out. He could hear the helicopter, its silence was like a wounded soldier begging for help. In the middle of the night, his phone buzzed. A text from Lily, "Good night, Daddy. I love you. Don't forget our pancake Saturday tomorrow." His chest tightened. For a moment, he almost gave up. What was he doing here, chasing ghosts from a past life, when his little girl needed him? But then he remembered the words his wife once told him, back when she was alive, "You fix things not just because they're broken, James. You fix them because people need them." So he pushed on. With every turn of a wrench and every line of code reprogrammed, James poured pieces of himself into the machine. Sweat dripped into his eyes, grease stained his arms, but slowly, like a heartbeat returning after being lost, the helicopter began to respond. A flicker of lights. A hesitant hum from the engine. The technicians gathered closer, disbelief written on their faces. And then it happened. The rotor blades began to turn, slow at first, then faster, until the air filled with that unmistakable thunder. The Black Hawk was alive. The general, who had been pacing nearby, stopped dead in his tracks. His withered eyes locked onto James. "I knew it. I knew only you could do it." But James wasn't listening. He was staring at the helicopter with tears burning his eyes. It wasn't victory he felt, it was relief. Relief that he still had something to give, that all those years of sacrifice hadn't been in vain. Before dawn broke, the helicopter lifted off the ground, carrying its mission forward. Soldiers saluted. The general clasped James's shoulder, gratitude unspoken but heavy in his grip. James didn't stay to bask in it. He signed the papers, handed back the tools, and made his way home. When Lily woke up that morning, she found her dad in the kitchen, hair messy, eyes tired, but a stack of pancakes waiting for her on the table. "Daddy, did you work late?" she asked, rubbing her eyes. James smiled softly. "Yeah, sweetheart. But I made it home in time." He never told her about the mission, about the helicopter, or the general's call. But he didn't need to. The way he flipped pancakes, the way he pulled her into a hug, it all said enough. And somewhere in that quiet kitchen, the real lesson lingered: heroes don't just wear uniforms. Sometimes, they're single dads in grease-stained shirts, who answer the call no matter the cost.